a habitual visitor. This is always a good thing. You follow the frequency of visits. And I know running back Amari Clemons is a fan of Florida State, but he'll be coming back to campus again this weekend, but with a family member, a very special family member that might be able
Yep.
to sign off on Amari making a commitment for his future. Tell me about that particular prospect and obviously what Florida State's trying to do this weekend with a four-star running back.
Yeah, Amari Clemons from Mariana, where my grandparents were from, but a place that certainly a guy they've stayed really strong contact with. We talked briefly with Amari after the visit for the first one, and got some confirmation from FSU from FSU contacts over the weekend. They're like, yeah, we're expecting him back next week. His mother is supposed to be attending with him, which is a significant, I think, thing for the recruitment. Assuming they follow through and all that stuff. But I think overall he's been one of their top targets that they've loved from the start. Explosive back, very home run type back whenever he touches the ball. I think he averages like 210 a game. Um, Competition's probably not as strong as other places, but overall it just doesn't matter who he plays. He seems to hit big boom plays and electric plays. So overall, this is a guy they covet, they want. Certainly, if he visits this weekend, like he has told us, and what we're hearing as far as him visiting, then certainly he's one that I would have on commit watch because he's so explosive and he's such a top prospect for them of one that they want in this class. So it would not shock me if he did visit and everything goes well and it clicks that he jumps on board quickly with this. He's already got FSU as his number one school, so that's certainly one that we'll keep an eye on, along with some other guys that are going to be visiting for the junior day this weekend.
As it pertains to the rest of the guys that are coming this weekend, Michael, just some highlight names people need to keep their eyes on. Keep their eyes on the premium recruiting board for updates, but then obviously
Yeah.
maybe some larger news, big decisions coming. Who are some kids you have your focus on?
Yeah, certainly two guys that are added late in the week that I like a lot. Four-star wide receiver Samarian Wingo. He's from St. Augustine, Florida. That's not too far away from FSU, so one that certainly knows the program really well. I think that's an FSU Florida Miami battle where I think getting him on campus is huge for this weekend. He was actually going to go last weekend, but I think they had a 7-on-7 and he ended up going to that, and so I think he'll be coming back this weekend. You also you also have several other top prospects, which is four-star linebacker T.J. White is one they like a lot. That I think they've certainly started to move the needle some with him. Jarius Rogers is supposed to be here, but I know he was visiting Syracuse as well recently, so we'll have to see if he does fall through and visit. I'm not that worried if he doesn't or he does because he's a guy that's always had FSU very high on his radar. Defensive end from Fleming Island, same school as Sam Singleton as that. And then another late addition to the week is four-star DB Chauncey Keenan. He's from Sarasota Booker. That's one FSU's spent a lot of time working on. If you're looking for a 2027 top dude, George Lemons is another one that he will be there this weekend. And then Noah Lavallee is going to be there, the brother of Caleb Lavallee, who's already signed with FSU. So you have some other guys, talented guys. And I mean, I've done this for a while as far as these junior days, Tom, and even then, all the guys you think you're coming, there's some more surprises that just pop in there that we don't know about. Certainly, the last weekend was the bigger one, but I think you have some bigger fish too this weekend where the Clemens and the other guys that we've listed coming in and really FSU to make a chance to maybe get like 7 or 8 guys that you feel realistically that they're going to be FSU guys that they're going to target and make a push for.
It seems like Florida State is trying to help and if you'll allow for the analogy, call it the domestic market, like the state of
Yeah,
Florida market. It seems like they're trying to get stronger in that regard.
they are, and you look at it. You mentioned Tim Harris and certainly Evan Cooper, Tony White, and even Tony White's from Key West. So
Yep.
Tony White has some South Florida connections. So they're definitely trying to hit South Florida hard. I think even other places we saw last weekend, even to lead into your next one, Grant Wise, another offensive lineman that's coming from Milton. I think Caden Hall just visited; he was from Milton as well. So you have several guys in here, and just I really focus on what I hear from, particularly the ones from the trenches, like with Terrence Knighton and Herb Hand. I like to see a feel of is there a tendency of what they do, and you heard a lot of that with Knighton. I'd say Knighton was one of the most popular, I would say, coaches from the junior day a week ago. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Maybe this week I want to kind of see with Samario Wingo what he feels of Tim Harris Jr., what his philosophies are, what kind of connections work and pitch and the way they pitch it and the way they're pushing. So it's an intriguing thing because it's almost like for me, I get to sit in the interview, just to kind of see,
Yeah.
kind of the interaction between, the recruits and stuff. So you kind of get a first feel of what the way these guys pitch stuff. Cause you get so used to, we're around these coaches so much, you get so used to, hey, I know how this coach works. But when you get new ones, it's kind of like you're starting over where you have to figure out, hey, what works with these guys and what really connects. And that's what I'm looking for is like what really connects with the recruit when they're here.
So we flashed it up on screen a little bit, the profile just a moment ago. This is somebody that Bill Hayes, owner of Corner Pocket, longtime sponsor of Warchant.com. He's a Milton, Florida native, so he's going to like this. Grant Wise is the player. And again, Michael, this is about Herb Hand making inroads in the state of Florida and the Southeast and continuing his reputation of being somebody who can close top-flight talent. Grant Wise, if you've got any notes on him, he looks like a nasty player. You can see that in his huddle film right there. He lists himself at this point as 6'4", but the latest listing we have on 3, 6'3", 300 pounds. This is the guy, even the photo, you could tell. If you're looking for an enforcer type, it seems like Florida State is reaching into the panhandle to see if they can bring somebody in who's like that, that can enforce for Florida State on the front.
Yeah, nice work on 3 on the profile pic. Whoever did that one, that's really good. That looks like a guy that you want playing for you. Plays with a mean, nasty edge. Really quick hands, violent. Very good inside guy. Although they do play him in a lot of different spots at Milton, but the way he finishes certainly will stand out a lot to everyone. Herb Hand and Mike Norvell personally went to see him in January, so they certainly have made him a coveted target. And they've been all around. Shout out to that staff of me and our own Matt Lasser, who's really done an incredible job kind of illustrating all the visits, the impacts of those visits, and certainly the staff has been all over the place. I've seen a lot of aggressive recruiting, which is what I kind of wanted to see in this next cycle. One of my complaints from a year ago where I didn't feel like it was always like that, but in this January contact, man, we're seeing a lot of. They've been very active and it shows with the type of talent they got on the first weekend of that January 18th Junior Day, and they have another one on February 1st for a Junior Day that's going to have some high-profile guys that I'll get into down the line. But I think overall, the aggressiveness is what I'm looking for. But a guy like Wise, certainly that's one that they would like to kind of help lead their class of. That will be a guy that kind of can lead your class of, a top-notch 4-star offensive lineman, and we've heard a lot about Herb Ham's development. So obviously you want to get in there, get some of those guys, and get some multiple 4-stars or maybe a 5-star in this class. But really, it's the beginning part with these junior days is really just showing them what you are, what you're going to be, what your coaching style is, what the culture is like at FSU, and it's really just another form of an unofficial visit. But really, it's almost like a get to know the coaches type of first impression.
Well, we'll get a good sense of that because a lot of these kids do make time as they exit more to make interviews happen, video interviews. You'll see that here on Warchant TV. You'll hear about those interviews if they don't make Warchant TV, certainly on the premium recruiting board. That's why you want to get signed up for Warchant.com. So head over to Warchant.com today. It's $1 for your first week. We have all kinds of specials going on at all times. Make sure you head over to Warchant.com, and then once you sign up, you will become a part of the biggest FSU fan community in the industry with us at Warchant.com. And you'll get not only some time with fellow fans in the tribal council in the locker room. It's a place where, Michael, all of us staff are spending more time in the locker room thread to talk about just non-FSU football stuff. But then you'll head over to the premium recruiting board and get blow-by-blow updates from this weekend's junior day, the junior day to come, and then also some big-time notes in 2025 kids as Florida State looks to round out his class.